Hello, I'm Father Lowe, the University Chaplain. Pope Francis announced a Jubilee of Mercy. It begins Tuesday, December 8th, 2015, and will conclude on Sunday, November 20th, 2016. What's a Jubilee year? Well, for the Hebrew people, a Jubilee year meant a year of remission or of universal pardon. Families were reunited, land returned to its proper owner, Hebrew slaves were freed, and all debts were forgiven. The Jubilee year, the Hebrew Jubilee year, was meant to be celebrated every 50 years. In the Catholic Church, the first Jubilee year was called by Pope Boniface VIII in the year 1300. This celebration involved both the confession of one's sins and a visit to two of the basilica in Rome, namely St. Peter and St. Paul outside the walls. This confession and pilgrimage were meant to provide forgiveness of sins and the remission from the temporal punishment for sins. The Jubilee year was to be celebrated every 100 years, but actually it has been celebrated at 50 or 25-year intervals. The last Jubilee year, called the Great Jubilee, was called by Pope, now St. John Paul II, in the year 2000 to mark the 2000th anniversary of the Christian era. Pope Francis has called a special Jubilee year only 15 years after the last one because he wants the entire world to celebrate God's mercy. He asks all of us to be merciful like the Father, merciful like God. The Jubilee of Mercy calls every Catholic, and indeed every person of goodwill, to seek pardon from God and remission of punishment of their sins. This special time of blessing invites us all to experience God's mercy in a deeper, more full manner. All of us need to read and pray more of the sacred scriptures. We need to participate more frequently, more devoutly in the sacraments of the Church, especially the Mass, the Eucharist, and the sacrament of penance and reconciliation. And indeed, we need to be more charitable to family, to friends, and to those in need. Here at Newman, we will be offering more opportunities for the sacrament of penance and reconciliation and for adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. Also, we'll be praying on a regular basis the Divine Mercy Chaplet, a prayer that focuses on God's forgiveness, God's love. Pope Francis's hope is that by the end of the Jubilee of Mercy, each of us will be more convinced of God's mercy in our own lives and better able to offer that same mercy to others. Let's pray for each other, that we will be merciful like the Father.